The hardest trophy to win in sports is staying in South Florida. Fort Lauderdale will make a trip to Miami, I'm sure. Definitely to Palm Beach. It's a three-county market. Vertical. You got to go up and down. You can't go sideways. You get eaten by alligators or sharks. The Canadians, all the great people up north, foiled again in what is now becoming almost an annual rite of passage to not win a Stanley Cup with their own game, admittedly. Eighth straight time a team represented by Canadian City has been to the Stanley Cup and lost. Worse than Perry, the Edmonton Oilers player, the 40-year-old who's lost 5 Stanley Cups in a row. I was lucky last night, Coca. I loved it. I was watching, and ever since 2003, I have a thing. I watch every sport, the 4 major sports, hockey, basketball, football, baseball. I watched the final game of the playoffs, the World Series, the NBA championship, etc. And obviously I do it because I want the feeling back. I want to feel what it felt to win it all and how absolutely mind-numbing it is. And it's emotional because you know what these guys are feeling. I'm honored. I'm privileged, lucky to know. And when I'm watching the Panthers one by one hoist the cup and skate around, I'm thinking about how the organization has changed its reputation from literally being described as a hash mark because no one cared about them. Hash mark is what their ratings were on TV. No one cared about them in South Florida at all. They couldn't draw anyone, couldn't give tickets away. New owners come in and start building a franchise from the ground up. And every owner who buys a team in professional sports tries to build a new organization from the ground up. So Vinny Viola and Matt Caldwell are not unique. The owner and the president, CEO of the Panthers, are not unique in that regard. They are only unique, not in the attempt, but in the success. And as a consequentialist, I love the success. I'm not impressed with the attempt. Many, many people criticize ownership for not trying, for not making changes when they come in. Sometimes they're criticized for making too many changes. If you think about it, you only criticize an owner like, go to our new great owner in Phoenix, Mr. Ishbia. Would you be criticizing him as much if the Suns had won the title? Or would it have been, ooh, he's instilling a new culture. He instilled a championship thought process, a championship mindset. That's what I was going for, Sheldon. A championship mindset. But we judge it at the end. You don't win a title, you have to be a seller in baseball, therefore you haven't tried. Well, if you're a low payroll team that does well, wins games, makes the playoffs, all of a sudden, wow, way to use your resources efficiently. We play the result in our analysis of our sports teams. Fine, I'm in. Play the result. But if you're going to play the result, then you have to know that Miami, South Florida, you can stand up right now. Let's go. 8% of you stand up right now and acknowledge that you are one of the most successful sports cities in the entire country. When we sat with mayors of Miami-Dade and the city of Miami who said we want to be known as a great sports city. We can't lose a baseball team if we want to be known as a sports city that has all 4 teams. And guess what? They've done it. I did something last night, Coca, and this morning that frustrates you because normally I would reach out and ask our absolute crack research department to come up with this. But do you know Miami's won 7 titles since 1988? Why 1988? Because that's when the Panthers start. That's when the Heat started. The Panthers started in 93, 94. You had the Marlins start in 93. And of course, the Dolphins have been around, since the beginning of Super Bowls. The Dolphins don't help. They haven't won a playoff game since 2000. So forget the Dolphins. But the Marlins, Panthers, and Heat have won 7 championships since the Heat got into basketball. 1988, not that long ago. That's only 37 years ago. 7 titles in 37 years for those 4 teams. And you may think, what a terrible ratio that is, until you start thinking about other cities and what they've done again since 1988.